Weather systems. Weather systems in Australia generally move from west to east. They move across this way. There is one exception to this rule though, and that's tropical cyclones. These guys make their own rules. Now the first system we're looking at is the high pressure system, and there's quite a few of them on the map. They're pretty obvious because they're written here that says they're high. But if these weren't there, there are other ways that we can tell. So for example, the easiest way to do it is to look at the pressure on these isobars, and as they move through this area here, what I can see is that it starts at 1012 hectopascals, it then moves its way right up through 1028 towards the center of the system. Now that indicates the pressure is rising there, and that is a high pressure system. Now high pressure systems generally bring fine weather, and in summer they're hot days and cool nights, and in winter mild days and cold nights. The winds in a high pressure system rotate in an anti-clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere, and the isobars are usually well spaced, and that means calmer conditions. There can be local winds, especially if you're near the beach, but generally it's calmer than other places, and that's really very typical of what we can see here compared to what we can see down in the southern parts of the Australian territory. Now, the next weather system is the low pressure system, and again, there's a few of them here. The one I'm going to look at is actually down in this area, down in here. And the reason I want to look at that one is because it's not actually marked. So low pressure systems bring winds, they bring cloudy skies, rains, and milder temperatures. The winds rotate in a clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere, and the isobars are usually closer together, meaning stronger winds. Now, let's look at this low pressure system in here. It's a low, and I know it's a low because if I look at the pressure on the isobars, we start at 996 hectopascals, and we move right down into the center. So they're actually lowering as we go to the middle. Now this one is an even more obvious one. It starts at 1024 through here, and as it moves towards this weather system down here, we're talking that it drops to 988, and we would have a low sitting in here. Now, if we look again at the isobars, they're very, very close together through this area here, which means there's very strong winds moving in through the Australian Bight and following this cold front. And the last one that we're looking at today is a tropical cyclone. There is no tropical cyclone on this map, so if there was, it would look something like this. There'd be a nice big round thing here. The isobars would be very, very close together, lots of them, and there'd be TC written in the middle, TC for tropical cyclone. They are extremely low pressure systems, and they form in the northern waters of this area here, and they do not follow a normal path. They bring very strong winds and torrential rain. They're highly damaging, and basically they don't follow the rule of traveling from west to east. In fact, when they form up in these areas here, often what they'll do is move down west and then south, bringing some very bad weather right through this region here. Often see a lot of floods in northern New South Wales that are actually caused by tropical cyclones. And it's the same over here. These can move down through towards Perth or down west and south, so they do not follow the general rule.